Team, you've signed up for the Dry Try, Orangetheory's indoor triathlon. This is going to test you on all three elements of the room, and we're here today to give you some tips, guides, and really set you up for success for tackling this awesome challenge. So the full Dry Try is going to consist of these three elements. It's going to be starting with a 2,000 meter row, which is typically going to take anywhere from 7 to 10 minutes. It's then going to be followed on with the weight floor, where you're going to perform 300 bodyweight reps. This is going to be 2 rounds of 150, and this can take anywhere from 8 to 15 minutes. You're going to finish on the treadmill with a 5K or 3.1 mile run. This can take anywhere from 20 to 40 minutes plus. So total time for completing the full Dry Try can be anywhere from 35 minutes up to an hour, hour and 5, or even a little bit more. The sprint version of the Dry Try is going to be half of everything from the full. So it's going to be starting with a 1,000 meter row, anywhere from 3 to 5 minutes on this portion. Heading over to the weight floor, it's going to be 1 round, so 150 reps, and it's going to be around about 4 to 8 minutes. And then finishing with a 2.5K run, which can take around about 12 to 20 minutes. So the sprint is going to take around about half the time of the full Dry Try, 20 to 35 minutes.
All right, team, so the first part of the Dry Try will be the 2,000 meter row. So we would have warmed up on our rower and we're ready to go. First thing is 2,000 meters. We know this is a big distance, and a lot of you may have done this already before during the 2,000 meter benchmark. However, we want to treat this row a lot differently to how you treated the 2,000 meter benchmark. Whereas the benchmark was a maximum effort and we would have felt like we emptied the tank when we got to the end of that row, when we do this row, we want to feel that we have the energy to swiftly move on to the weight floor and get into our 300 reps. So it's important to pace ourselves here during this row, find a rhythm we can sustain, and stay in control throughout. If we know our benchmark, and let's say you did the benchmark 2,000 meter row in 8 minutes, then let's try to add at least a minute to that time. So if it did it in 8 minutes, maybe we'll give ourselves 9 to achieve this. That way we have plenty of energy to crack on and attack the next part of this challenge. If we have a goal time in mind for our 2,000 meter row, then of course we can use the split time. That will give us an indication of how long it would take us to achieve the 2,000 meter row. So for example, if you wanted to do it in 8 minutes, we'd want to hold a split time of 2 minutes for 500 meters. That way we know how long it will take us to achieve that distance. The big thing here is going to be that consistency in terms of our breathing and our stroke rate and our form. So let's bring our attention to our breathing, bring our attention to pushing with the legs. Okay, we know that 60% of the power comes from the legs, 20 from the core and 20 from the arms. So use your legs, focus on your breathing, keep that consistency, and reserve some energy for the rest of the Dry Try.
Okay, so you've just come off the back of that 2,000 meter row and you're going to head over to the weight floor as quick as you can to get started on these 300 total bodyweight reps. That's what makes up the Dry Try portion in this part of the studio. 6 exercises for 2 rounds. If you are doing the sprint version, you're going to be doing just 1 single round, so 150 total reps. We're looking for good movements for all of these 6 exercises, so it's really important to focus on that form. I'm going to be taking you through each one of those exercises and a couple of options for you as we go through, but we're looking for those full range of motion reps to make it equal and fair for everybody, so listen up for what's coming up next. Okay team, so your first exercise is bench hopovers, and we're looking for 40 total reps. For that bench hop over, you're looking to have your hands parallel at the top end of your bench. And 1 rep is each time your feet touch the floor. So you're going to jump both feet together up and over the bench, jumping those feet down together. So each jump is 1 rep, 20 to each side. Also, think about getting into a bit of a rhythm so you can bounce it through if you want to move quite quickly, or you might want to take a little extra hop to give you some momentum as you move over the bench. You've also got an option for this one team, so same set position with those hands, but we're looking to step our feet 1 at a time, but we're still counting each side as that 1 rep. Next up, you have bench tap squat for 20 total reps. So you can have your feet at the edge of your bench, chest up nice and tall, and then you're going to hinge from the knees, push those hips back, tapping the bench with your bum. Again, we're looking to make this a tap and go. Think about it like an Oyster card, tap and go, no sitting down on that bench for a bit of a breather. Looking to have those knees challenging over the toes. Options here, take those feet a little bit wider to reduce that range of motion, like so. Next one, you've got step up. So we're looking to get both feet onto the bench and step back down. We're looking for full extension at the top. So you want to stand up. We don't want to see any squat running on the spot. So you want to be standing up tall. And think about using this for some active recovery here. So your opportunity to get that heart rate back down for the step ups. We're looking for 20 on each leg, so a total of 40 here, teams. You also have the option to do 20 on one leg, 20 on the other, or you can alternate, whichever one is going to work for you. Exercise number 4 is going to be your push-ups for 20 reps. For these push-ups, we're going to have our high plank position to start with. So shoulders over the wrists, nice strong plank position, squeezing those glutes. Hinge from the elbows, lower body down to the ground, push down through those hands and come back up. What we're looking to do here, team, is as many full push-up reps as possible, so break it down into smaller sets if needed, and also when it comes time to it, you can go to that option to be on the knees, but making sure that we've got that tracking line from shoulders, hips to knees, that we're not up here with a bum in the air pressing the floor. Staying on the ground, you're moving on to your next movement, which is going to be your plank jacks. This is going to be in a forearm plank position this time. So we're going to be onto those elbows, and again, remembering to keep the core and the glutes engaged. We're going for 20 reps here, and that plank jack is a hop with both feet out to shoulder width apart, and then back in to hip width apart. Small movement out and in, trying to keep those hips steady. Option, we can take a step, single leg at a time. But remember that we're going to essentially double the reps here. So one step to one side, and then the second side is 1 rep. Okay team, so you've come this far. Your final exercise each round is going to be your 10 burpee reps. Good news for you is there's no jump and there's no push-up in these. So your burpee for the dry try is as follows. You're going to put those hands down to the ground, jump those feet out into that high plank position, jump in, and full extension, stand back up. Again team, don't be afraid to take that option where we take the stepping of the feet in and out and stand back up. This is your final one each round, so really dig in for it. And then you're going to be starting round 2, or then moving on to your final portion of the day, which is going to be on that treadmill. 300 reps is a big challenge, team, so don't forget to apply some strategy into your approach to this portion of the dry try. There are 6 total exercises. Have a little think about which ones you're going to use as active recovery, and also where you might take rest between exercises during this challenge. Like I said during the demos, use that step up. That's a great example of active recovery moments. And remember, you don't have to blast through all in one go with no rest. Take your time, manage your efforts so you're best prepared from coming off the back of that row and then going next into that final discipline on the treadmill.
So you have just finished the weight room floor, you've done your 300 reps, you're on to the treadmill. Obviously you guys are going to be pretty fatigued after completing the rower and the weight floor. So just head over, we can catch our breath, but we'll get that tread moving straight away, even if it's just at a walking pace, so we are starting to rack up that distance. Now, of course, you've got to cover 3.1 miles, which will equate to that 5K. How you attack that is totally up to you guys. So if you want to hold a steady pace throughout to get yourself up there, ramp it up maybe at the end just to cross that finish line, that is something we can do. Alternatively, we could attack this in an interval style where we're going to be taking that speed up and down, even taking base paces or walking recoveries to allow us that time to really bring that heart rate down so we can go back in again. But as with a steady state or an interval state, we will look to ramp up that speed just at the end to really get ourselves through that finish line with that extra bit of time allowance. Other than that, guys, one thing to be aware of is, as always in class, we do not want anyone to be jumping the rails. If at any point you do need to slow down or take a breather, if your shoelace comes untied, anything like that, we can bring that treadmill down or even to a little stop before we tie that shoelace. But those are some of the things to expect on the day. You guys are going to absolutely crush this, and I can't wait to see you.